This is Math 2, Unit 9, mid-review. At this point, you should have, of course, something to write with, and your Unit 9 Packet 1 packet out and opened up to the mid-review, which is the second to last worksheet in your packet. Second to last worksheet, mid-unit review worksheet. We're going to do homework notes. We're just going to do a few of them together. Whatever we don't do together, you finish on your own during class, and whatever you don't finish then you take home. All right, kids often treat this one as a double distribution, but recognize that is not a multiplication sign, that is an addition sign. That bell is not for you, that was just the end of the day bell. All right, 6k minus 7k squared plus 4k squared plus 6. Remember, when there are no, there's nothing to distribute, you drop the parentheses. All right, standard form. I'm going to write my squareds first. Negative 7 and positive 4 is negative 3k squared. Positive 6k doesn't have a like term, so it's just positive 6k. And the positive 6 also does not have a like term, so it's just positive 6. Negative 3k squared from adding those two like terms. 6k by itself because it had no like term, and 6 by itself again because it had no like term. That there is your answer. All right, this one you will have to distribute the negative first, only to the right. The first piece, now when we drop the parentheses, this one stays the same. This one becomes negative 3p minus 4 plus 5p squared. Combine like terms. These are going to be the ones that combine, and they're both positive, so they do not cancel each other out. That gives me 10p squared. Now, negative 3p, it looks like has no like term, so it's just going to stay by itself, negative 3p. And then the negative 8 and the negative 4 are going to combine to negative 12. Okay, next one I'm going to do is going to be down here in the multiplying polynomials. This is where we do our double distribution and triple distribution type problem. So let's do on this one, let's go ahead and try number 10. I'm going to do double distribution. If you're doing the window method, those of you that like the window method, you're doing this. 4x positive 5, 4x positive 6. For those of you doing the double distribution, you're going to first distribute the 4x, giving you 16x squared plus 24. And then you're going to distribute the 5, giving you 20x plus 30. 16x squared, because remember you multiply the coefficients and add the exponents. We've been saying that for quite some time now. 16x squared plus 24x. This in here is plus 20x and then plus 30. All right, 16x squared plus 44x plus 30. Those of you that did it this way, you'd have 16x squared in the first box, 20x in the second box, and down here you would have 24x and then 30. And when you combine your like terms, you'd end up with the same thing we have here. All right, I'm going to move on to number 13. Now 13 is like what we did yesterday. Only the ones we did yesterday was written like this, and I told you guys yesterday if you wanted to, you could flip it. So if you like it better this way, then you can flip this one. I'm going to leave it this way just so you can see what it looks like. This is still double distribution, only I'm distributing to 3 terms instead of 2 like I did earlier. And then I'm going to take the 4 and distribute to, again, the 3 terms, just like earlier, except it's a longer polynomial. It's a trinomial instead of a binomial. All right, If you don't like it this way, rewrite it like this one, and then it's triple distribution, which is totally fine. Okay, those of you doing the window method, I don't have much room. You're not doing both methods, so you're doing one or the other. So you're not going to take up as much space as I am. But those of you doing the window method, yours looks like this. And I am going to have to redraw that. Okay, so it'll be 5n and 4, positive 4, and then 4n squared, positive 2n, and negative 4. If you don't like your window method this way, you can put it back on its side. This would go at the top, this would go on the left side. It's totally up to you and how you do it. Okay, let's see, 5 times 4 is 20. Add the exponents into the third. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough room there, so I'm just going to redo it just a little bit lower so I can start further to the left. Okay, so that one there is 20 n to the third, multiply the coefficients, add the exponents. That's 10n squared. This out here is negative 20n. All right, now I'm going to distribute the positive 4. That gives me positive 16n squared. And it looks like I'm going to have to erase this so I have room. Okay, 16n squared is coming from the 4 and the 4n squared plus 8n minus 16. All right, if you're doing it that way, go ahead and combine your like terms. I'm going to fill in the box really quick. Again, you're only doing one or the other. You're not doing both of them. And if you don't like your box this way, then put it back on its side the way we had it yesterday. And that will work just the same. Okay, 2 times 4, that gives me, oh, let me make sure I wrote it down right. Sorry, I did not. Okay, one more time. 5n positive 4, 4n squared, positive 2, and negative 4. Okay, that's 20 n to the third plus 16, or positive 16n squared. This here gives me 10n squared, multiply the coefficients, add the exponents, 8n. This here gives me negative 20n, and this here gives me negative 16. And then you combine your like terms, which are here and here. All right, 20n cubed goes first, and there's no like terms. The squared's going to go next. Whether you're doing it this way or this way, 10 plus 16, they're both positive, is 26n squared. You do not add the exponents when you're combining. Negative 20n, positive 8n is right here, and that gives you negative 12n minus 16. All right, so again, if you did this method, you'd get the same answer, totally up to you. You couldn't use the FOIL method here because there is no first, outer, inner, last. That's why we just call it double distribution or triple distribution. I am going to continue on to the back side. On the back side, I will have you cross these two out, 17 and 18. Cross them out. We're not going to do them, at least not now. We can do them another time. These two are just like the one I just did. This one's like the one I just did. This is like the one we did yesterday. You can leave them as they are. You can change them to put the trinomial first or to put the binomial first. Totally up to you. I'm going to jump down here and I'm going to do number 20. And it's the square root of 45, so we just break it up, 9 and 5 into its prime factors, 3 and 3. This is review from last unit, which is actually review from last semester. 3, 3, 5. The 3 is a pair, it comes out. The 5 stays in. 3 root 5 is your answer. All right, 24. Break down the 32. Now 24 is a cube root, so remember now we're circling in chunks of 3. That gives me 8 and 4, 2 and 2, 4 and 2, and then 2 and 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s. And then 6 x's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 5 y's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cube root, and I keep telling you guys, you don't have to break it all down like this anymore unless it helps you. Okay, I'm circling 3 at a time. So this set's coming out as a 2. That 2 times 2 will stay in as 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, coming out as an x and an x, which will be x squared, and no x's left inside. I have only one set of y's coming in. I do not have enough for another set, and there's 2 y's remaining. Okay, so on the outside, I'm going to have 2 x squared y, 2 x squared y, and do not forget to put that little cube root in there, otherwise it's wrong. Cube root of 2 times 2 is 4, no x is left behind, and y times y is y squared. 2x squared y, that looks like y to the third. I'm going to fix that. It's a little 3 right there. 2x squared y, cube root of 4y squared. 2x squared y, cube root 4y squared. All right, you're going to have time now to work on the rest of this, finish the rest of this on your own. Get to work.